Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Aether Hub. I'm Simon here, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. Eldraine's here, and it's time to go on an adventure. Today we'll be examining the 5 courts that make up the virtuous realm of Eldraine. Each court represents a single color in MTG with associated traits or virtues admired by the realm. Each court has their own leader who in turn bows to the High King of the realm, ruling from their high castle of the court. These many factions also harbor a sacred treasure unique to each kingdom. Let's take a look at each of these courts so you can find out which one best represents you as a player, so you can start building that particular deck. These are the 5 courts of Eldraine. Oh, and as a side note, before we start the video guys, if you remember back in the day, I had Friday Night Lore videos with giveaways. Well, they're returning. Kinda. Starting with this video. So stay tuned till the end and you can have the chance to win the representation of the realm's 5 courts. Learn more at the end of the video. But now, let's get back to the lore. First, what purpose do these courts hold? Yeah, sure, they act as local state officials ruling over lands as an extension of their High King, but on Eldraine, they serve a deeper purpose. Similar to the trials on Amonkhet, the courts of Eldraine represent trials for people to become knights of the realm. True knights must represent the 5 virtues exemplified by these courts, passing their tests, earning their blessings, and becoming knights of those courts. Only a select few actually ever become High Knights, those who pass all 5 courts, but still young people look at these courts with wonder and excitement to prove their honor and become knights. If you speak with the Queen of the Realm, Lyndon Kenrith, as she went off on her kids Will and Rowan, she'll give you the same spiel about the virtues of the realm, those that keep the realm strong in the face of the wilds. In truth, it's the traits that separate the realm from the wilds, but she also has to tell you that because, well, she's one of the leaders of the courts. Her and her husband, the High King Algenis Kenrith, rule together the Court of Ardenvale. The white-aligned court is the high seat of the realm, representing the virtue of loyalty, for a knight cannot serve with honor if they cannot be loyal to their family, their duty, and the realm. The test of Ardenvale is known as the Silver Flame Ritual, a unique trial that gets down to the very core of the person being tested. There are no tricks, no clues or advice one can give when passing this trial. It looks into your very soul and determines if you're truly loyal, and if found unworthy, well, the result is less than ideal. Yes, if you fail, your adventure stops right there in Ardenvale, as you evaporate into a pile of ash. These trials don't play around with false knights. The ritual is started by a group of Ardenvale knights who summon a circle of white-hot flame, the Circle of Loyalty. The candidate then walks through the flame and the trial is passed if there is a walking, breathing knight that gets to the other side. Once passed, the knight is found worthy and is granted a knighthood of Ardenvale, and is given a pin of Ardenvale's sigil, a circle bound in white flame. The Court of Ardenvale is also known for its prized Griffin Knights. It is one of the only courts who employ flying knights, and their griffins are the finest, most fierce in the realm. The loyal knight Cato and his griffin Hale were both part of this ancient order in the Wildred Quest novel. Griffin riders are essential for the realm's quick response to attacks from the wilds, and are seen as some of the most skilled mounted warriors of all 5 courts. Fairly ignored in the official story for Throne of Eldraine, the Red Court of Embereth isn't even mentioned but in passing in the novel, The Wildred Quest. Still, this court represents the virtue of courage. As most players would attest, it takes great courage to go all in when your opponent has cards and mana untapped. But still, a true knight must show that courage to go aggro when it's the best option. And Castle Embereth has courage aplenty. While Embereth is basically a mystery right now, we do know the court is ruled over by a dwarven thane named Torben, a hill dwarf who came to rule the castle through great martial prowess and undeniable hardiness with hammers, both in the warhammers he wields in battle against the wild and a smithing hammer he uses to forge some of the greatest weapons and armor in the realm. The castle is also situated near a massive volcano whose fires provide a great forge, along with a testing ground for the test of courage. The castle was built near the peaks of great mountains and valleys that hold some of the most precious metals on Eldraine. The kinship of dwarves, as seen on the 7 dwarves, shows that this race of Eldraine are skilled miners, in search of material right under the halls of Embereth, some of the rarest forging materials in the realm, while the fires of invention show them as remarkable crafters. The pinnacle of Courage's craftsmanship is the relic treasured by dwarves all over, the mighty blade Embercleave, forged in the bowels beneath the castle and bolstered by camaraderie and courage of others in battle. The trial of Embereth is one of endurance and bravery, challenging the courage of any so-called knight. As seen on Aaron Crag feat, those looking for knighthood of Castle Embereth must brave the fires of the massive volcano, sifting through the charred remains of those who tried and failed before them. It's about bolstering your courage in the face of something much greater than yourself. Only in besting and surviving these fires are you named a Knight of Embereth. Castle Embereth is also a staging ground for a great martial tournament, one that never ends and that no one knows of its beginning. The tournament brings some of the best fighters and knights in the kingdom, and this can be seen in the cards Joust and Tournament grounds. They compete in a number of martial competitions for an ever-growing purse of coin, and of course the notoriety that comes with besting the never-ending tournament. Next, for all of you book-learning types, we have the Court of Knowledge, aka the Fun Police, aka Blue, Castle Ventress. Those who study at Castle Ventress, such as Elwyn, the lore mage that accompanied Will and Rowan on their adventures through the Wildered Quest, apparently, know-it-allism is just a common trait for those who covet the virtue of knowledge. Castle Ventress is located in the middle of a massive loch filled with dangerous underwater creatures, most notably being the Undine, which are a race of merfolk on Eldraine. Though Undine in the wilds regularly consume the flesh of humans, those in Ventress act more as bouncers, keeping those unworthy of the search for knowledge at bay. In fact, if you want to enter the castle, you must first trade away a secret, and then the Undine will ferry you across. So yeah, it really tests how adamant you are just to get there. Ventress is ruled by the peculiar Gadwick the Wizened, Eldraine's version of Merlin. He is aloof, mysterious, always working on or reading something, but ever rarely seen, even by his overwhelmed apprentices. But the true leader of Ventress is their legendary artifact, their treasure known as Indralone, also known as the Magic Mirror. This almost conscious object has the power to grant someone a vision, a truth to whatever question they need an answer to. But there's a catch. Like a good gossip monger, the mirror first asks for a secret from you, something it doesn't know. If you can find something even the mirror doesn't know, you add to its collective knowledge, and your truth will be granted. Will and Rowan did just this in the story to find the location of their king father. The Court of Ventress bears the sigil of a keyhole, representing the gateway knowledge can unlock. All you need is the right key. Now that being said, the lore mages this court produces are some of the most annoying people in all of Eldraine. Yes, characters like Elwyn are super smart and important to the story, no doubt useful, but come on. Lore mages don't always have to be so pretentious. I'm one, and I'd like to think myself pretty humble. Next, we have the Court of Strength, the biggest boys and the strongest hammers, the Green Court of Castle Garenbrig. Strength is a virtue the realm needs as its backbone against the wilds, and luckily Castle Garenbrig is one of the realm's first lines of defense, butting right up against the border to the wild. They face constant threats in a mountainous ridge, of heavy snow backing up to a thick, intimidating forest. The leader of Castle Garenbrig is actually a giant, a jolly green giant named Yorvo, who is actually a huge help to Rowan and Will during their adventure. He respects the High King, and the wilds were growing bold with his disappearance. So he and his elite guard of freaking mounted bear knights, how badass is that, agreed to help the twins. Yorvo holds a special purpose in the realm as being the main conductor, in a sense, for the Great Henge, Garenbrig's treasured artifact. The Great Henge is the thing that you see quoted on all those random fairy tale cards flavor text. It's the source of much speculation, tales of triumph, and the scene of many new knights' demise. The Great Henge is important to the realm because its magic acts like a portal between the realm and the wilds. But it isn't as easy as just walking through the forest. No, the Great Henge can actually teleport the user to a specific location in the wilds they may need to go. You can determine the location by moving massive ritual stones in a precise order to determine the drop-off point. The only one being strong enough to move said stones is Yorvo himself, thus the conductor reference earlier. Will and Rowan were able to ferry the Great Henge to the location Will had seen in his vision at the Magic Mirror, thus sending our heroes on the right track. One other thing Garenbrig is known for, and this goes with their whole strength motif, is their love of hammers. Yes, they pride themselves on big, smashy things, and is the weapon of choice for Garenbrig Bear Knights. And finally we get to the most mysterious and foreign castle in the realm, the Black Aligned Court of Castle Lochwain. Now, it's mysterious because, well, I have a tough time pronouncing it, but more so because it's ruled by the only elf in High Eldraine society, the First Lady of Lochwain, Ayara. Ayara is an interesting character who, after the elves were overthrown by the men of the realm and pushed to the wilds, actually agreed to join the realm rather than retreat with her kin. Maybe she's a sore loser and wanted to be on the winning team. Who knows? Ayara is the only one alive in the realm who could answer that question, and I wouldn't recommend asking her. Though a part of the realm, Ayara hasn't fully let go of her wild roots and still partakes in the Midwinter Hunt, a wild elf ritual that's forbidden in the realm, and she even sits on a foreign druid council of the wilds. But to be fair, she does sort of petition for peace between the realm and the wilds, but come on Ayara, tell us whose side you're really on. Ayara has a habit of making unsound relationship choices. Of course, many seek her hand, but they probably shouldn't, as she's been through more husbands than anyone could count. No one knows exactly what happens to them half the time, so while royalty could be sweet, getting with Ayara could spell your doom. Castle Lochwain is almost as unique as its ruler, as it has the distinct capability to fly. Yes, it's a flying castle on Eldraine. Actually, in the story of the Wildered Quest, Will and Rowan find Castle Lochwain floating near Castle Garenbrig, so they sort of get both castles out of the way at the same time, saving some nice time from a storytelling perspective. Lochwain's virtue is persistence, because persistence is needed if a knight looks to serve the realm fully. They can't give up in the face of hardships. Ayara of Lochwain would know a lot about persistence because she's been looking for her court's lost artifact, the Cauldron of Eternity, for 100 years now. It's a magical cauldron rumored to bring people back from the dead and absorb evil energy, which Garrick in particular found incredibly useful. Still, it's been lost to the wilds for years, and still, she sends new knights out in search of it, earning them the virtue of persistence, hoping one day she'll get lucky. Oh, and this cup is also why their sigil is a goblet, and why Ayara wears goblets all over her clothing. She truly is the Goblet Queen. And there you guys have it, the cards, stories, backgrounds, and origins of the 5 courts of the realm. Who or what they are can always be up to you, the player, and how you choose to play with these courts. But let me know which one you most identify with in the comment section below. As mentioned, adding a comment is how you enter for a copy of all 5 castle cards from Throne of Eldraine. I'll be looking for your best, worst description of your favorite court. Do that in a comment and I'll select the winner by pinning that comment to this video. You also need to subscribe to the channel and tick that like and bell button to officially enter. Make sure you guys share this video around so you can help grow the Vorthos army. The more lore lads we have, the easier and more often these giveaways can occur. So keep it up guys. As always, thank you all so much for watching and until next time, see ya!